Okay. Hi, everyone. I think there is no one actually watching it right now as we're kind of like rolling in. We are 3 minutes late. But yeah, how's things, Kyle? What's new with conversion wise? Are you guys busy? What's happening with VIA? Is there anything that when it comes to the holidays, are you guys similar when it comes to BFCM as well based in the UK?
Yeah, no, great to be on it. Yeah, I mean, it's always busy as an agency. I think there's a lot of brands we work with, so things are always busy. Yeah, in terms of Black Friday, Cyber Monday, I mean, what we try to do is test different things on the way up to Black Friday, Cyber Monday. So free gifts, different tiers, different offers, shipping thresholds is a great chance to find out like what goes well with your customers, especially when you're going to get an influx of traffic. Making sure you got the upsells there, so you don't have to test these when everyone comes to your store when there's peak periods.
Yeah, I can totally understand that. It's probably the same for Omar as well. He's on the merchant success side, so I can understand that he's also pretty busy. And same with support. I guess everybody's equally busy. But it looks like we have some audiences coming in right now, which is awesome. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Wherever you are, feel free to add us some of the Q&As or even where you're based right now. That would be nice to see where you guys are watching this on live. So today we are actually going to be discussing a 5 BFCM cart optimization strategies. Really is based on UpCart from the Shopify's leading brand, and this is actually powered by Aftersell. So we do have a upsell where we're doing a academy where we have a couple of episodes that's happening, from the last couple of weeks, and then we will have a few more others, 2 other more. So if you guys are looking forward to that, so feel free to actually sign up for it, which I believe we will be sharing that on our LinkedIn and any of our socials. But yeah, in today's webinar session, we actually will be welcoming you guys, moderator, myself, which is Alicia here, partnerships manager here at Aftersell. So I'm not going to talk too much about myself, but Kyle, I'll let you take it on here.
Oh, great. Yeah, I mean, just give a bit of background to myself. I'm Kyle, head up CRO for ConversionWise. Personally, I used to be an electrician many years ago, moved to Bali and then switched to growth marketing, as you do, and then really delved into CRO. I've been part of ConversionWise for the past 2 years, headed up the project there. ConversionWise as a whole, we've been going for around about 12 years now. We mainly focus on CRO, so A/B testing for 7 to 9 figure e-com brands, just building out the roadmaps, trying to get as much profit per visitor in any way, shape, or form. So it's mainly A/B testing. We work with some really big brands, the Essence Vault, Free Soul, Boom by Cindy Joseph, and many more. And yeah, just here to provide as much value as possible, really. We use UpCart and Aftersell for the majority of our clients. So yeah, just trying to take what I've learned, explain through a few slides, and we'll go from there. I might ramble on a bit too much as well. So I did give Alicia the heads up.
Omar?
Yeah, thanks, Kyle. I was not an electrician before, but I was a touring musician, which was my intro to e-commerce. But yeah, I'm Omar. I've been with Aftersell for just around 7 months now, but I've been in e-commerce and the overall online customer experience realm for the last 7. My forte is the Shopify ecosystem. I did work at Shopify for a couple of years, and I've been at other SaaS companies as well, where I love working at companies that revolutionize the online customer experience, and Aftersell is my favorite so far. I think we offer merchants versatility between the traditional and the innovation of e-commerce. So excited to be here today.
Amazing. Welcome.
And I also was not an electrician, but I was a special needs educator before, and an entrepreneur for about 10 years. I had my own business that I started through Shopify, and then I worked in Shopify, which eventually led me here. I'm in customer support, and I do a lot of the technical background work with fixing anything from very small details to very large details. I do have a very soft spot for helping merchants work on their conversion rates. So if you're ever in the support chat and you want help with that, just make sure you ask. It's one of my favorite things to talk about.
That is amazing. Thank you guys so much for that nice little kind of intro. And yeah, if you actually get to come across working with Kyle, Omar, or Jacinda, they're all amazing people and a little bit too generous sometimes, but that's how it works. That's awesome. Cool. Let's get into today's topic where we have our agenda all ready here. And we'll be talking a little bit about, customer momentum, the increase of incremental revenue, customer engagement, and everything all is really done in Upcart, and how is that going to really work and build loyalty and whatnot. And it's just like everything that we're also kind of sharing a little bit about BFCM as well, some strategies where Kyle and Omar will be touching base on, and of course Jacinda will be very kind enough, like she just mentioned earlier, to walk you through a little bit about the back end, and also one of our mutual client that Kyle brought in, which is Pure Sports, thanks to them. And we will kind of walk them through and see what they've set it up so far and how can we improve on that. And then she'll kind of walk you guys through on the back end as well. So whoever is new, stay tuned to the end. We will have something for you. But if you have any question in the meantime, please feel free to ask them in the Q&A section, and we will have them all answered at the end. If they are not answered, don't worry at all. We will still have you send those answered through our emails. So let's get into it. As today, we're actually going to be discussing about the transaction moment for custom cards. As I mentioned, we do have a upsell academy that will be touching base on all the transaction moments here. So and rest assured, it will be recorded, as Maria, our backend, is actually doing that for you guys. All right, let's get into it on the first one, which is proven profit with no matter your industry. So electronics, very, very close to anything where you're looking at 7-figure brands or even anything within the 6 figures. We are actually going to see them grow as much as it should. Nothing changes when it comes to the vertical, and that's very nice. So I really think that this is also, by the way, a November date of data. Don't worry. I think this year, if anything, any of these vertical will be doubled just because we've seen such great growth through our cart. Cool. I will give this to, is it Omar? Omar, you'll get on, the first one, the first strategy as today's.
Thanks, Alicia. Yeah, so to build off of what you're saying, we see the added value and versatility that Upcart's bringing to the transaction moment. But for me, the beauty is how easy it is to drive this customer engagement through some straightforward tools within the Upcart app. So when you log in the Upcart app, you're going to see about 10 different tools that you can incorporate into your cart. But the first strategy that we want to go over is creating customer momentum. And it addresses the question of like, how are you going to create that crucial customer engagement that's going to lead to increased AOV? And to me, every tool within Upcart plays a holistic role in increasing this upsell conversion, but some particular ones I like to start with when it comes to helping merchants build this momentum. So we have them listed out here. And the first one is incentivizing with a rewards bar. And while a good deal is a good deal, in today's market, you need to make sure you're being innovative in the way that you're pushing that upsell over the line. And our rewards bar actually allows you to utilize incentives such as free shipping, which allows you to set a criteria, which will show your customers how close they are to achieving this. And this is a real winner for me because the sight of $0 shipping looks much better than, sometimes up to $20, $30 in that line. Makes a huge difference. And not only are you giving them a good deal, but you're helping your customer get that added value through an enhanced customer experience. And we also do support some third-party integrations as well beyond free shipping. So you do have some like customization and modification in this aspect. And number 2 is making sure that the upsells presented are relevant and contribute to the quality of the customer experience. So the bread and butter of Upcart is the upsell feature. And this is where you'll be able to set up the direct product upsells in your cart. And it's a super simple avenue that sets you up for increased AOV. But when the products you're selecting to be presented here are targeted and curated, it's again contributing to that good quality customer experience. And Usually you see the hero products presented here, but with a more optimized upsell strategy, you're going to be able to maximize profit opportunities in this segment of the customer experience. And the third is adding extra profit opportunities into what I consider unorthodox spaces, like an empty cart. So another aspect I really push merchants to take advantage of is using space that isn't traditionally used in my experience, in most Shopify stores. And an example of where you can utilize space is the empty cart. Just like the product upsells displayed, like after an item, you also have the ability to incorporate upsell placements on an empty cart. And for this one, I usually recommend pushing popular products that are eye-catching, that will get your customer curious and excited. And if we could go to the next slide. So if we're going to compile that into a strategy for Black Friday, Cyber Monday, I would say one thing is to look at your empty cart. It's heavily underutilized, and you want to transform this empty cart into an opportunity for exploration by showcasing accessible products in various price ranges. So I would suggest using a bundle strategy where you combine 3 to 4 popular items with a lesser known product. You can set this trigger in the app, and you want to follow this theme that addresses your customers' needs. So you guys understand your customers' needs, the season they're in. So something like winter wellness, home office essentials, or Black Friday, Cyber Monday themed is an approach that will enhance product discovery and keep your brand on top of mind for future gift experiences. So your customers will come back knowing that they'll have a catered experience to help their shopping experience. And the beauty of Upcart is that you're able to use it as a multi-pronged approach to increase revenue, but also enhance the customer experience. So things like reward bars, even customizing the language to add a sense of urgency or catering to the customer experience are tools you can use around this strategy to optimize conversion. And if we can go to the next slide now. So what I just presented was opportunities to increase revenue in the present customer moment, but how can we take that to the next level and turn that one customer moment into repeated and incremental value? So Upcart provides features that allow you to turn that one-time purchase into multiple opportunities to increase revenue. And as far as turning that one-time purchase into recurring revenue, you'll be able to shift this to things like subscriptions just with the click of a button. So there's 2 aspects here, adding onto the customer experience by providing add-ons that are relevant to the customer's initial purchase. So giving them the opportunity to get the bang for their buck with a subscription that actually increases your customer lifetime value as well. So in this slide, you see Snooty is one of our merchants that excels with this strategy. Working with them, we were able to get them on an Upcart setup that expanded just beyond simple upsells and cross-sells, but genuinely contributing to exponential growth over time with sales and customer loyalty. And, pairing this with reward bars, free shipping incentives, even trust badges or images that help incentivize the purchase is going to help you boost credibility and will also help with conversion. So to basically what I'm trying to say is upsells alone, yes, they do increase AOV, but I think what we offer at Aftersell is helping our merchants achieve the bigger picture beyond one-to-one revenue increase, but also a more holistic approach to building our merchants' customers' lifecycle, which allows the merchants to increase revenue continuously in future moments. Next slide. So strategy number 2 that we suggest for this Black Friday Cyber Monday revolves around increasing that incremental value, like we mentioned. So you can elevate the experience with something like seasonal add-ons. This could be gift wrap, hand-painted cards, anything that has a personalized touch that adds value to each purchase. And these add-ons provide an upsell opportunity that will increase AOV with minimal effort. It's like set and forget, essentially. But on top of increased AOV, you're also making the purchase experience more convenient for shoppers. You're encouraging loyalty by simplifying gift giving through these add-ons. And you're also giving a brand-specific experience that will incentivize your shoppers to return. And at the end of the day, you're making the gift giving process super simple. And by a few clicks, you're saving them that trip to a busy mall in mid-December, or if you're me, December 23rd. So yeah, next slide.
This me now, yeah?
Yep.
Ready to go? Sweet. Yeah, just going to go through a few examples now on how to keep customers engaged. So it's very important when we get them to the cart page that we keep them engaged throughout this journey. And we don't want them leaving the cart page once they got on here. We just want to carry on pushing them down the funnel. You've done the hard work getting them to the site. So how do we keep them engaged in this journey? There's 3 things you could do with Upcart, which we love. And when used correctly, can just prove massive to your conversion rate. So option 1 is spark urgency with a timer. So as you can see by example 1, I'm not sure how big you can see it, but at the moment they've got a use now at checkout 5% off discount code, and you've got to use this within a certain time. Now, this is great because it urges the customers to make a decision now. We don't want them double thinking. We don't want them thinking they have to come back. In the next slide, I'll go into a bit deeper because there's a really great example of this, but we can go into that in a second. Yeah, I was going to do it in a second. It's fine. But yeah, we really want to increase that urgency. So make people make an action now. We don't want them double thinking. We don't want them leaving the site, because once they leave that site, they may never come back. Especially at Black Friday, you're going to be fighting for a lot of engagement. And just in general, there's a lot of competitors. There's a lot of different stores like yourselves. So we've got to stand out and make them make that decision. Going on to point 2, build trust with branded badges. So USPs and icons like this work wonders. For some reason, people trust icons more than just copy. So find relatable icons. And it's really important that we put the right icons in here. So what are the users thinking at this part of the journey? Now, for this example, they got ships directly from the USA. So people are making a connection there. They know it's not like a drop shipping brand. Ships within 24 hours. So they know they're going to get it quick. Free returns and exchanges. This is exactly what users are thinking when they're in the slide cart. Can I return this product if I don't like it? So offering that message there. And then again, they've also got an extra USP, which you can add on. It really depends how many USPs you want to add on here. So they've gone for like a support suicide prevention, which again is a great execution of why people should be purchasing with this brand to create that brand loyalty. And then finally, stay connected through announcements. So another great feature you could do is announcements. Anything that's changed up and coming recently, you could use announcement bars to add in messaging. I really like the background that you can add in to make it stick out. One thing I'd be careful of here and that you can play around with is having external links. You don't really want people leaving out. So if you could try to answer all that message in the announcement bar and make it clear and concise, just so they can answer all those questions there when they're on the cart. Next slide. So yeah, going on to strategy 3, add value. So in this, I'm just going to go over like how you can add value to your customers as a brand and also make money, which is a side thing from it. So you get the customers to increase that loyalty to the brand, but obviously you're making extra profit here. For this example, the pod company, I mean, they do so many good things with their cart, and there's a great example of what you should be doing. Here we've got like a high-end product. So their AOV is around about 238. And what we can use here is Upcart's upsells. Now you could either use AI recommended, or you can easily plug and play the recommendations you believe go well with this product. But it adds incremental value onto that product. So for example, if they order this ice bath, these are the products they want to get with them. And we don't want the consumer getting the product and then realizing they have to come back and order more products. That's just going to cause frustration. So we want to add these values in there. And you could do this easily with the upsell. I'm just going to go a bit deeper on this cart because it's just, there's so many good things about it. So with the timer they've put in, they've got an urgency there. And if you take a screenshot, you can zoom in a bit more. You could see they've put a timer on to create that urgency, but they've given a reason why there's an urgency. They haven't just said your cart's reserved for 10 minutes. They said, due to high demand, we've reserved your cart for 90 minutes, very limited stock. It makes it a lot more believable. What you don't want to be doing is fake scarcity, because then people lose trust with your brands. So giving them a reason to why is urgency and why you should be ordering now is a great example. Especially around Black Friday, these things will kill it. So do very well. Secondly, they've gamified the cart. So they've actually done your one product away. So these upsells are so easy to add because they get that free shipping, they get the free gifts. Another reason they're great is because when you're ordering a high average order value product, and if you've got high AOV stores, when you're adding smaller products like this, like a $40 product doesn't seem too much when you're spending $238, but this is huge. But if a customer's spending that much already, they'll be willing to add on to make this product better. So if you've got high AOV, add in some supplementary products just to boost that AOV, and go from there. Obviously, this makes customers happy, adds additional value. The more products they get, the more loyalty they're going to have to your brand. They're going to want to come back again. And just another thing I'm just going to add on this, the recommended add-ons. That copy there, play around with it, because we've had some huge wins just by changing the copy on the cart. So enhance your results. Don't just go with the standard customers frequently pair with. You can really customize this copy in the up cart just by deleting and inserting new text. So really play around with that and measure to see which ones get the best impact. Next slide. So yeah, now going on to instill confidence. So like I said earlier, we've done all the hard work to get into the cart. Now we just want to install the confidence. We don't want them dropping off. We don't want them dropping off at checkout. The main reason people drop off at checkout is because they weren't confident when they got there. If they were, people do checkout tests, but like a lot of it is done on the PDP and cart. So we want to install as much confidence we can here. Now, Amar went over earlier what we could do and how we can the certain features upsell offers to add this value. For this example, I've done provide reassurance with shipping insurance. I do want to go over this as well because there's so much flexibility with this add-on you can add in. Make sure it suits your store. For these examples, it fits perfectly. We got a high spending product, so they want to look after it. And then they've actually changed a copy on this by melting insurance. So it relates to your product. So make sure it relates to your product. If it's a fragile, if it doesn't really relate to it and is low AOV and they got to pay $4 extra to insure it, maybe try something else like skip the queue, some other different messaging to increase that AOV. One just little tip with this, I would not have it auto turn on. Having it auto turn on can cause conversion rate drop off. So if the users don't have it auto turn on, they get to the checkout and they see this added value, it can cause them prevent. So make sure you play around with these, make sure they line up. But it's another great way to boost AOV and ensure that confidence that the user is going to get that package. Secondly is discounts to reaffirm the buyer's decision. So especially on the lead up to Black Friday and in general, I mean, if you're offering discounts, you want to be showcasing this. You want to remember, you want to tell them that they're getting discounts. You don't want a product to be discounted on your product page and then they get to the cart and it's not shown as discount. So we want to show these savings as well as we can as possible. As you can see in the bottom right, they've got like the discount badge, which we go on to another slide, but they show the savings, they show the original price and then the cut off, so you know how much you're saving. One thing I want to add to that as well, and I think Amar, you touched on it on like the free shipping. I think if you offer free shipping anyway, still add that progress bar. Still, when they go into that cart and you offer free shipping on the store, say congratulations, you've got free shipping. Remind people of the incentives that you're giving them as a brand and how much value you're giving to them. And then lastly, showcase trust badges. I touched on this earlier. Trust badges are super important. So people think in different things, different ways when they're in different parts of the journey. So if they're in the slide cart, they're going to be thinking, like I said earlier, can I return this product? Do I trust this brand? So that's where we want to install trust badges. Now, it's very simple to do. You could type it in, you could drag images in, and you could really play around with this to see which trust badges resonate more with your consumers. I personally like the 30-day guarantee. It works wonders. I think it also depends on your demographic. If you're working with boomers, maybe add in the trust icons, the credit card icons. These tend to work better with older people, just because it relates to them a bit more. And then play around with these. Is it 30-day satisfaction guarantee? Is it 30-day returns? And you could add multiple of these as well throughout the journey. Next slide. Another example here. So what we got is the strategy install confidence. Obviously, a lot of people are going to be purchasing over Black Friday. So another strategy we can do here is delivery times. So reassure your customers that they'll receive their orders on time. You can do this. And what's also good about it is obviously it reassures them, if I order now, I'm going to get it before X day. It doesn't always have to be Christmas. They could do it before. Give them a deadline that they know they're going to get it by. People will go to the checkout just to see when they're going to receive their package. So it's better off reducing that friction. Another way it increases conversion rates is another form of scarcity. So you can use the announcement bar here to order by X date, and it could be tomorrow, and receive it by here. But you can play around with these messages, tell them when they're going to be receiving their orders, and tell them exactly why they should order now. So order by X date and receive by X. Knowing the timelines, it encourages the customer to purchase. I think everyone wants to know when the order is going to get to them. So it's a great way to encourage customers to go through and purchase once they're aware of this. Going on to build loyalty. So how could you build loyalty using Upcart? And yeah, like there's a lot of different ways you could build loyalty as a brand, and there's certain things you can do as a brand to make your value more to the customer. Why should they purchase with you, and why should they purchase now? So how could we do this? Option one, and this example is great. Offer free samples as complimentary gifts. I'm probably going to butcher this word, but reciprocity. Try not to say it too often. But basically, if you're giving the consumers free gifts, they're going to feel like they owe you something. So it's going to push forward on that purchase. Now, what I really love about this is the mystery gift. People love mysteries. So if you can hide the gift, and then you could say it's a mystery, then do that. Also put the value there. So what is the value of the free gift? Now it's going to be set as free, but like tell them the value in the product title. You can set up another product back end. You don't have to show it front end, and then you can show them basically in the cart when they add it, what's the value. So that's another great idea. I mean, if you don't have anything, so what should be a free gift? I mean, it should complement the product. It could be a mystery, low cogs, ideally. You don't want to be giving away stuff expensive. And then also, I mean, if you don't have any other products, write some ebooks or get someone to write some ebooks for you. They're digital products. You could offer them for free. And you could just incentivize them in the cart. Once they bought a bigger product, you're giving them something for free. Again, display discounts and savings. I think really good about this example is how often they've put it. So they've done the 225, they've got the savings there, and then they've also got down at the bottom the discount. So right before they hit the checkout button, you could just add in this little write-in that says discounts and how much they're saving. And this is just important. Again, you're offering them a discount. You want to remind them of the discounts they're saving. It's tiny. It's a small change. It will make a difference. It's easy to set up. So just get it in there, especially around Black Friday. And then finally, increase AOV through bundles. So yeah, I mean, AOV is the easiest thing to increase. It's easier to increase in conversion rate. If you're converting a customer and you could get more value out of that customer, then create bundles, and try to increase that AOV. I think we touched upon it on the upsells, on the shipping insurance, etc. But if you could create bundles of your product, whether it's a consumable, whether it's clothing, just try to bundle things together. Now you can add these bundles in the Upcart, so you could add them as the upsell, and you could change that frequently bought together. So if I only had one product of those bamboo foot sleeves, I could change that copy to add 2 more and get and save X by creating that bundle. So there's a lot of customization there you could do. You could create 2 products back end in Shopify and then add them as an upsell to create that bundle and get people to get the savings. But try to bundle things together. And I think, did we go on to this on the next slide? No, I'm going to touch on this side. Sorry. Sorry, you can go back. Apologies. I was going to say, what to bundle together as well. Like you want to bundle, if you're doing like a consumable, you want to bundle these things together. So things that go well with it. For an example, if you're a CPG brand, sell them a shaker. Again, I think we touch on this as well, but it's easy ways to increase your average order value. But then you're also building that brand loyalty. They're buying more products from you. So yeah, I just want to touch on that. There you go. And then lastly, taste of transaction. So here we want to offer free samples as highly relevant and popular products. So Upcart, obviously with the upsells that we've seen, you can actually put anything in here. So how can we utilize this around Black Friday, Cyber Monday? A great way to do this is adding in free incentives, like free gifts, free samples. Why is this good? One, it gets you returning customers. So if you're giving out samples to different products, maybe new products, new releases, you're giving them a little tester. And if they like it, great, they could come back and you're getting these repeat purchases. You've got to remember as well with Black Friday, you're going to get a lot of customers that come through the door that probably never seen your site again before, and they probably won't see it again. So because there's that such high buying intent. So if we could ship them as many products as possible and increase that product discovery, it's really good if you're releasing new products, if you've got a large catalog, people aren't sure, they didn't have time to see everything. So increase the intake into basically giving them more free samples to increase that product discovery. I think, again, it goes very well with the brand perception. They're going to resonate more with your brand that you give them free gifts. You're adding that value, which brands don't typically do, and they don't have the capability or know how to do it. It's hard to custom code this stuff. Yeah, so like if you could offer this through the cart is amazing. So yeah, that was it.
That is a lot to unpack, everybody. If you're telling me that it's not enough strategies that has been shared, I don't know what to say, but there's a lot that you guys can implement right now, and which is awesome, which I really, really appreciate Kyle and Omar for taking the time to really walk everyone through on the BFCM strategies and, what really can we take on in today's session. And now I don't want to waste any more time because I know Justin is really, really excited to get into it, and it might take some time because of her generosity here. I will let her take it on, and I will actually remove this from my stage as
just a heads up as well. I mean, anyone on the webinar as well, reach out to me via LinkedIn or Twitter. We can either do a free, like a Loom video, I could do like a teardown of your site, give you insights, or maybe if I got time and our team's got time, we can load up a full audit. So yeah, I'm not sure if Alicia's going to reach out or like send the details, but if not, reach out to me on LinkedIn, is Kyle Foster, or on Twitter. But yeah, we'll go from there.
He's already so excited. He's wanting to share it already. I was gonna say wait to the end, but okay. No, but I think there's there's something that I know that you wanted to add at the end, Kyle. But yeah, I'm gonna let Jacinda to actually start taking it on. And Jacinda, I know your page is still not on the website. I'm gonna let you do that, and then I will add that to the stage. All right.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I am very excited to kind of show you guys how all of this works with all of the amazing tools and tips and things that we already talked about. Watching how it plays out and works is going to just kind of really drive home all of the things that you just heard, which can be really overwhelming when you're like, okay, we're do this, and this, and then you're like, how do I do it? So we are using Pure Sport. They've graciously agreed to let us do a little bit of a cart critique. And in the cart critique, I'll share some best tips for getting things set up and doing it from scratch, since they already have a cart. I'm here on their homepage, and before I add anything to the cart, I wanted to show you guys their empty cart. So what I like about it is that I like that there is already an incentive to add something to the cart here. You already have a sense of like, oh, if I add something to the cart, if I get $50 worth, then I'm going to get a free vitamin D3 14-day trial pack. Okay, that's pretty cool. And obviously there's another little thing here that you get something else down the line. What they could incentivize a little bit more is to have the product recommendations so that people could action that even faster. Click on an empty cart and they see, oh, okay, well, here's some products that I'm interested in. Already I know I'm going to be getting this free vitamin D3 14-day trial pack. Add to cart, and I've already got it. It's like a quick way to add more incentive by putting this with the product recommendations there. So let's add a few products to the cart here.
I was just going to add on that as well. Something you can do if you got like a really diverse store on an empty cart is try to add in your highest AOV product as well, because it also price anchors your lower products. So if they do open a cart and they see like a $200 item, when they then see your lower ones, it's going to make them look a lot less expensive.
Good point. Yeah. Thanks for adding that on. Okay, so we'll add this one to basket. And I already jumped the gun because it is already over the budget of what it was. So immediately adding it to the cart, we get to see that the deal that they already had for the product. The free vitamin D3 trial pack is added, and they have a free salty paste bottle. So for some reason, though, it looks like their bottle is not coming in for free. So this is actually going to be really good troubleshooting to show you guys, because this is actually something that happens fairly common, that we see quite a bit through troubleshooting. People will come in and this exact scenario will be the case. Oh, like I have this free product set up, but it's not showing as free on the cart, and then the customer's cart is total, and that's going to deter someone from clicking checkout. They'll just say like, oh, never mind. So I actually have their back end here opened up. We can take a look and see what may be causing some of this. So go down to their rewards. And in the rewards section, this is where you set up the tiers.
Justin, maybe you might need to zoom in a little bit just to, I'm not sure if everyone can see it, but yeah, maybe a little slight. Yeah.
Is that good or a bit more?
I think my view probably is a little blurry, but for some people in the audience, if you guys feel like she needs to zoom a little bit more, let us know. But if not, this is, good for now.
Okay. Yeah, I can zoom in more. That's totally fine. All right. So they have set up with a product reward setting first. So there's 3 different options to set up: product, discount, or shipping. And I won't go too much details into it for the sake of time, but our UpCart help documentation explains the differences between all of them and how setting up one first affects the other ones down the line just a little bit. So we see here, they are adding this vitamin D3 14-day. That one added for us just fine. Now this one, the salty paste bottle, was not adding. So typically what we see here is that there's a disconnect between the discounts that they have set up in their discount settings. And it can depend on what discount they have. Typically at this point, we need to go into their actual Shopify admin settings and find out what discounts they have. Do they have it to set automatically? Do they have it based off of a certain specific amount, or if there's any number of discount combinations? That is typically the number one place where we see that. While I'm here, though, and speaking about discounts, I did want to mention quickly our partnership that we have with Abra Promotions, I've been playing around with their app, and I am completely blown away with how easy it is to set up discounts and have them all automatically work and sync to your account. It's so much faster and so much easier to troubleshoot.
It's amazing. It's amazing how you can turn it on and off automatically as well. And it's perfect for the holiday season. So I think this is a great one.
Yeah, we can. I would definitely take a look at Abra Promotions. It's like Shopify discounts on steroids. Really great. So yeah, we can't do too much because we can see that they have here. And unfortunately, UpCart doesn't make any discounts. We add them to the cart. We can communicate with them through the cart, from the product to the checkout, but we don't make them ourselves. So we would need to troubleshoot that with this merchant, and that's okay. The next thing that I kind of wanted to critique their cart on a little bit is that they are missing some of our features here that we talked about earlier in the webinar around adding upsells. They don't have any upsells here, and it's likely that they don't have any upsells here because they could be based off of complementary. So they could be through AI recommendation, complementary, related, or related. Complementary upsells need to be configured through Shopify, and if they're not configured through Shopify, they won't set up, they won't work. So that needs to be done, or they can use manual upsells in which you pick a specific product, say the Ultimate Performance Bundle, and people who buy the Ultimate Performance Bundle often buy another smaller bundle, so that you would have the Ultimate Performance Bundle as a trigger, and then in the cart, the upsell would show, oh, this one always goes with this, and it would make an easy decision for a customer to add that to their cart as well. They also aren't utilizing our add-ons, which can be used for so many things, not just shipping protection, but a particular product add-on, like they talked about earlier, where you're adding on gift wrapping, or you're adding on express shipping, or anything that might make the customer decision to click checkout a little bit more incentivizing. It's a really incredible, useful feature, and it definitely is something that I would highly recommend that they add onto their cart here. And then also here, I noticed that they don't have any express payment buttons. I'll touch a little bit on express payment buttons because now Shopify rolled out some new rules, and we can add express payment buttons, but we do have very little say in how they appear and what express payout buttons appear. We have some CSS here that allows us to change the way that they look, the height, and for both like the desktop version and for mobile versions, how they line, and then hiding a buyer consent, which shows up underneath here. But they do still install a lot of trust and a way for customers to want to check out if they're using a particular payment method and they don't want to have to input their credit card information. If someone only wants to use PayPal and they can pay with PayPal, they're really great setting to have for those reasons. And again, trust badges. I know trust badges were brought up in our Q&A. We have default trust badges that are just our payment icons. And sometimes those aren't enough for merchants. Like you might want different ones. Maybe you don't offer Maestro or Amex or something like that. We do have a recommendation of, I believe it's 384 pixels long by 38.4 pixels high. That's the whole size of the banner. So if you want to add one image for that whole size, or splice together your own smaller image, smaller payment badges in there, you can definitely do that as well. We also can position the badges on the bottom underneath the checkout, or on the top, which comes up here, which a lot of merchants utilize that for adding an extra image for their logo, or if they're already using an announcement bar to convey shipping times and other important information. This adds a nice, fun way to add more brand consistency into your checkout than you could have before. All right, now I think I'll go over a little bit more of the questions that I get probably the most, which is here in the settings. Right now, you see they don't have any custom CSS or custom HTML, and that's okay. You don't have to have that.
There was even a question asking, how can I customize the cart? So yeah, that's the perfect question there.
Yes. So this is where you would come to customize the cart. Whether you're looking to change this color of the Save 36, I can't remember what currency that is off the top of my head. But whether you're looking to change the savings row here, or you want to change this rewards banner to be a different color from everything else, or to make it kind of like flashy, where it kind of like has like lines that kind of like rotate. We have customization documents for all of those things, and we can help you add them yourself, or you can go to our Upcart customizations documents, and I have them pulled up right here for you guys to see what they look like. We've got 21 different articles between styling, so changing buttons, changing colors, changing widths, to adding quantity, where you want to hide the rewards bar for specific countries because you may not want every country that you ship to have access to the same rewards, which makes complete sense. So it's a combination between using the custom HTML and the custom CSS. This will show you a list, a very long list of all the different things that you can work on to change.
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm kind of curious, Jacinda, like, is this something that if for myself as a brand owner, I don't know nothing about just setting it up, is this an easy setup for, just anyone else who has no tech or code experience? Is this something I can do just, by checking it out from that documentation and copy paste?
Pretty much. Our documentation is pretty thorough in copying and pasting. So, or like, I'll just do a quick one with you guys here, changing the color of the product savings. It's copy here, and we'll go back and we'll paste it into the CSS here, and it changes this color to red.
Yeah.
You can use color, we don't want to do white, but you can change by word. You can change by hex code if you know what the hex code is. That one's not a hex code. Just making numbers up. Literally, there's lots and lots of different ways that you can do that. And that way you can add some kind of like brand consistency throughout the whole thing. For getting started right out of the box, though, the key things that you want to get started first, you want to go to the design, and you can select to inherit the fonts from the theme, which means your card will use the same fonts as the rest of your theme does. And then changing the colors here of all the basic, the add to cart buttons, the text colors, things like that, to create that same consistency from your main store to the cart, so it feels like one fluid movement, not anything out of the ordinary. After that, I would recommend setting up the rewards. Even if you're not sure what you want to add right off the bat yet, adding something for free shipping over a number that you feel comfortable with. And again, this really depends on what your business goals are and what each of your what your profit margins are. Maybe like you might not be able to offer free shipping, but maybe you can offer like a 10% discount or something like that. I would definitely recommend doing that first, because these are some of the most powerful tools in getting customers to check out. And same with the upsells. Using AI recommended upsells. If you don't really know what's going to work first, use some AI recommended upsells, and then take note over a few weeks. Okay, people who find this upsell more often, so maybe I should make this a manual upsell that configures based off certain products, because these products are always paired together, or something like that.
Yeah, that's awesome. I really agree that AI recommendation does really help when you are completely clueless of what to, kind of set it up for the time being. Well, you were touching on the rewards earlier, Jacinda. There is a question that said, is it possible to allow the customer to pick from a selection of products versus one fixed reward?
That is a good question. I think they get all products. We'll just do a quick test here and find out. Their upcart is not live, by the way, right now. So I'm making these changes and then I will revert them. They have not activated upcart in their theme. So we are safe to kind of play around with this a little bit. So let's just save that. And then I will remove everything else from the cart. And we will take a look. Let's refresh. That one's not quite $40 to $50 yet, which is okay. So let's do another one.
Let's add more supplements into it. No big.
Yeah. Let's try that one.
It will be fun.
No products, that one.
All right.
Here we go. So it looks like they
Wow.
get all of the products. I know picking products for picking gifts for specific products is something that we've not yet been able to do. And I actually asked Abra Promotions about this too, because it's a common request that we get, is that like, if I have a specific product to the merchants that a customer adds, can I have them choose a gift that goes with it? And Abra also said that they can't offer that as well. And between the two of us, we came to the conclusion that theirs is like a Shopify limitation in the way that the API works and connecting these things. We've definitely sent requests to ask them to include this, but if Abra can't do it and we can't do it, then I know it can't be done right now.
Yeah, just for the time being. And I'm pretty sure we will have it figured out at some point. So please feel free to send more requests. I know we are trying to add more features. And so anything and feedback from you guys would be great. I know we're left with about 7 more minutes. So Jacinda, thank you so much for sharing, just everything on the live setup and the critiques and whatnot. And now that we're getting into the end, we will be, getting into all the Q&As that have not been answered. So if you guys still have any last minute questions, feel free to add that in. But in the meantime, we do want to share that we are giving out a free 30-day free trial on the Upcart for any attendees right now that is live with us watching. You will get free 30 days. So feel free to scan that code. If you have not gotten to it yet, I'll let you take your time. If it's like me trying to scan it right now, how long does it take? But yeah, I will go through some of the questions right now that we have in here that could be really useful for anyone that are very, very curious about. So I think I saw one. Let me go with this one. This one could be something where Omar can answer. How can apparel brands take advantage of post-purchase upsell? Not very much on the Upcart, but we're using after-sale suite on a few of our brands. And it's doing amazing for electronic CPG, etc., but would love expert ideas for post-purchase flows in apparel space.
Yeah, there's a couple strategies you can take on for apparel, especially this time of year. One caters to the idea of gift giving, more of the same, a discount on more of the same. But my favorite with apparel is kind of creating like collections or bundles that cater to the product that you're purchasing. So I love suggesting, I know it doesn't look like it right now, but I'm a fashion guy. I try to be. And I love bundles and collections that are like fits. It's like, this goes well with this super well, and offering like an incentive. Not all brands do heavy discounts, but even something like a 5 to 10% discount will help push that conversion over the line. So yeah, it really depends on what kind of apparel brand you are. If it's a hero product, more of the same during this time of year. Adding language is like buy 2 for the price of 1 for a friend, for your brother, if it's a male apparel. You know what I mean? Just like the language associated to the deal makes a huge difference. And again, anything like an incentive with a discount will help quite a bit too.
Oh yeah, 100%. I think I will be the first one that is like, all right, add to my cart right now. That is how it works. I mean, what about you, Kyle? Any take on this?
No, similar to Omar, I think it depends what sort of apparel brand you're doing. You want to offer complementary products, so you could look at, it depends how much data you got. You could look at what products people come back to buy, what they typically buy together. So you could use like AI recommended upsells, but things that go well with each other. I think Omar touched on it, bundling products. If it's a single tee, like in different colors, you may like this, or just get them to buy more of the same product. Just really try to maximize as much revenue as you can. Even if you don't know, just test around. You could test with after sale, try different products, try multi products. Just don't stop testing on there. But yeah, really try to maximize as much revenue as you can.
Agreed. And there's a ton of ways to A/B test as well. Omar, do you have anything else to add there?
Yeah, I just wanted to add A/B testing. If you are unsure of what your customer behavior is like, maybe you're a new brand, maybe you've seen different results, A/B testing is really going to help tell the story. And depending on your volume, you could set it for 2 to 3 days. You could set it up for a week or two. But yeah, our A/B testing will really help you hone down on what is the successful strategy for your specific customer base.
So I just have one thing to add about A/B testing too, because I've been recently going through this a lot with customers, especially this time of year. Setting a controlled variable, so they're using the same product for A/B testing, but then shifting the offer from a percentage off to a solid amount off can help you to see which customers prefer more than others, and kind of like experimenting with it that way.
Amazing. All right, let's go back to the upcart question here. Is that, are there different type of placement for upcart? Anybody wants to answer? I mean, Jacinda, if you, I know you're the expert here. If you can answer, that would be. You're on mute, by the way.
Yeah, I am. I just realized that. Yeah, so the different types of placement that we have for upcart is basically to slide out from the left side or from the right side. And that is honestly to make it more user-friendly for customers to be able to find. Having like a hamburger style menu where they have to click a small little button and then like everything pops open for the cart can be a little bit confusing, or having the cart at the bottom. I've seen that where people have like their cart at the bottom. Having it all on one side or the other side helps to streamline the user experience and add more value to make the process smoother for them.
I think just to add, I wouldn't try anywhere else. Just stick it to the right and just like your typical brand. Otherwise, you may confuse consumers. You don't want them looking for the cart. So yeah. Yeah,
I also want to add, we do have the sticky cart, but depending on your site's layout, like if you have a chat bot, it can interfere. So I recommend it for very specific cases. But the slide out from the left and the right is the real winner.
Amazing. Well, I've got one last one. Is like during the poll, I did ask, what do you struggle? But this is mostly on the CRO side. It really, to me, to be honest, everything relates here. Is that, what do you struggle when it comes to CRO and on-site changes? And a lot of you guys actually voted knowing what to change and where on the site. Kyle, I think this is your expertise here. Like, what is your go-to tips? I know you're going to offer some great audits out there, but what are some things that people can do here right now?
Yeah, I was muted. If you've got, I mean, everyone should know where the majority of their traffic goes. So like in more general, you want to see where the traffic goes, and you can use Google Analytics to see where they're landing or like what pages they see. You can, if you're quite, it's not too hard. I could do a Loom, but like you could set up a funnel analysis to see, okay, are people adding to cart, or are they adding to cart and not reaching checkout, or are they not even viewing a product page? So there you can really see, okay, what do I need to change and where in the site? Is it people are not even reaching the product pages? Is it getting to there and they're not adding to cart? And then typically, it depends what data source you have in. If you've got heat maps, see where people drop off. If not, just focus on the above the fold, is where 100% of your visitors see. So target those areas. Try a lot of copy below the product pages, explaining the products. But yeah, you really just want to focus where the traffic is going and where they drop off on the funnel. So is it in that cart? Like, is my cart not optimized and they don't get checkout? Or is it on the PDP and they're not even adding to cart? So you can use Google Analytics for that and to see where people are dropping off.
Amazing. All right, we're here to the end, and we're reaching to the end here. And I know, Kyle, you probably wanted to share a couple more things, which is the audits. You can probably repeat what you said earlier, but I'll let you share that for anybody who's on live right now watching the end.
Alicia, are you going to get them to sign up for something? Like
yes.
Their contact details. Yeah. So yeah, we'll be offering that conversion-wise, depending on the number of intakes. Either a Loom video, like a 30-minute teardown of your site, and I could get on a call and explain things, my full process, even hop on a call. And then for a couple of special brands that we'll pick them at random. We'll do a full comprehensive audit of your site. We'll need data access. Typically charge quite a lot for this, but we'll chuck it in there. So we only pick a couple of people at random, but yeah, we'll offer something.
Yay, amazing. And where can people find you? Where are you most active on?
I'm mostly active on Twitter and LinkedIn. I just retweet things. I don't really talk too much, but yeah, I'll reply on Twitter if you message me on Twitter. LinkedIn, it might not get replied to. So yeah, I would stick with Twitter, but I'm still checking LinkedIn every other day.
So yeah, I would say he's really busy. So wait till Friday. If anything, that's his go-to. But I really appreciate you taking the time and staying. Obviously, if you guys can tell, he's based in the UK, and it's all the way. What time is it right now? I don't know. It's late.
It's 7 o'clock. It's not too bad.
It's 7 o'clock, and yeah, dinner time. So we really appreciate your time, Omar and Jacinda. Thank you so much for joining us today. And yeah, I will see you guys all in the next Upsell Academy. And yeah, talk to you guys soon.
Pleasure,
Thank
guys.
you.
I bet.
Love you guys. See ya.
Guys.